So Clyde is an action thriller starring Nicholas Hoult, Felicity Jones from Rogue One, Anthony Hopkins, and Sir Ben Kingsley, and I hadn't heard of it until a week ago. It has no score on Rotten Tomatoes because it hasn't been screened for critics, and there was only one person in my theater, me. You can guess where this is headed. So in Collide, Nicholas Hoult plays a former drug trafficker who has to return to do one more job for Sir Ben Kingsley in order to be able to make enough money to pay for his girlfriend Felicity Jones to get a kidney transplant. As you can guess, things don't go according to plan, and thus we have a movie. So as I said before, I'd never even heard of this movie until about a week ago, so I looked into it a little bit because of the cast, and apparently it was supposed to come out like a year and a half ago, except the studio went bankrupt, so they had to sell the rights to someone else, and then they put it on the schedule, and they pushed it back, and then they pushed it back, and they pushed it back, and thus this movie is just kind of like dumped into February with no promotion at all. Nobody knows anything about it. Now, having seen the movie, I kind of understand why. The movie is kind of a big, gigantic mess that's all over the place. So let's start off talking about the good. Right off the bat, of course, our four lead actors are all great, and they bring the charm and the depth that you would think that they would bring to these characters, especially like Sir Anthony Hopkins playing what otherwise would have been kind of cliche drug lord character. Just kind of brings his Anthony Hopkins isms to this role that just elevates a part that otherwise would just be generic drug lord guy. Same with Sir Ben Kingsley, who plays like he's essentially playing his character from Iron Man 3, like the when the Mandarin's really revealed what the guy is actually like. That's what his character's like in this, just crazy as can be. I don't know why he suddenly likes to play these types of roles, but it elevates this movie, and it belongs in this movie. Likewise, Nicholas Hoult is a great actor, and so in this, he does some great acting. His character is not the most charismatic or likable, but he does a good job of acting in whatever he's trying to do. And Felicity Jones, of course, just has a certain charm to her. Along the same lines, the action in the movie, when there's action, it is quite good. And once the action gets going, I mean, it really is kind of like 30 minutes straight of a chase action sequence in the movie, and it's not like great, highly stylized, amazing sequences, but it's shot with wide enough shots so you can see what's going on. It's not like chopped up, cut foo. It's not the big CGI mess. It's practical stunts, practical chases shot in a way that you can see what's going on, and therefore it's pretty exciting. And finally, once the story gets going, it really does kind of have this fast-paced, kind of edge-of-your-seat urgency to it that I love in action thrillers, so I really appreciated that about this movie. But with that said, let's start talking about the bad. I very specifically said once the action gets started and once the story gets started, because this movie takes forever to really get going and for the story to kick in. And because of that, this movie kind of feels like 5 different movies with 6 different tones. I mean, it's just kind of all over the place, because once the movie gets going, it's a chase movie. It's just kind of straight chases all the way up until the third act, and then you have the resolution. The first 40 minutes of the movie, it's kind of like a romance movie and kind of a drug lord movie, and then it's a heist movie. I mean, it's just all these different genres before it clicks into chase movie that's the actual genre of the movie. And it's like the director really wanted to build up this theme of what would you do for love. So the first act overly states and builds up their love story, and then throughout the action stuff, whenever Nicholas Hoult has a moment to kind of slow down, it shows him kind of daydreaming about her and imagining she's in the car with him, and when he gets clocked over the head and he's knocked out, he dreams about her, and when he has moments where he emotionally breaks down and he just starts venting to people, it's about how he might have done things that are wrong that'll hurt her. It's just so overstating this theme of I'm doing all of this for love. The best comparison I can give you for what this movie is like is it's like the movie Taken. In both movies, someone that comes from a violent career resigns from that career because of a loved one. Then when that loved one is put in danger, they return back to that dangerous career to try and save the person. And once the action gets going in both films, it's kind of a breakneck pace all the way up into the third act. Very similar, except in this movie, it overly tries to convince you of the love for the person, and it doesn't trust you to just understand he loves this person. So it's as if you added 20 minutes to the movie Taken just of Liam Neeson resigning for his daughter, and then hanging out with his daughter, and then thinking about his daughter while shooting bad guys. That would be weird. And that's what you see in this movie, and it kind of kills the pacing. It adds about 10-15 minutes to the movie that just don't need to be there, and it makes the tone be all over the place and the genres all over the place, and it makes for a very strange viewing experience. Overall, I can't really recommend this movie. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. For the most part, I wasn't bored with the movie, and it was pretty exciting once it got going, but it took a long time to get going. It had to went in a lot of directions before getting there. The actors seemed like they were acting in different movies and giving reasonable enough performances. But overall, just this isn't a movie that you need to go out to go see. It will be frustrating if you do see it. And even if you like the trailer, it only kind of delivers on the promise of the trailer. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. And if I'm being honest, I can't really see myself rewatching this movie. If I had to, I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't go out to rewatch it. How about you? What did you think about this movie? Being that you've probably never even heard of it, you probably haven't gone to go see it. Have you even heard about this movie? Let's talk about it in the comments section, because I don't want to just talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you. If you're new to my channel, you never click that subscribe button, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I like to talk about the daily movie news during the work week, put out a few videos doing that, put out a few movie reviews each week, as well as a live show on Sundays where I interact back and forth with you guys, take some questions, have a lot of fun. Because as I said, I don't want to talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with you, and thank you for watching.